Kia ora, I'm Sean from 2040 and today I'm going to show you how to set up the Dock AI cam. So all you need is a camera, battery, power supply and the Cacophony app on your phone. It's on either iOS or Android. You can download those apps if you go to the website that by scanning this QR code on the side of the camera, it'll take you to the website where you can download the app and you can also see this video. So the first thing you do is, probably the first thing you do is create an account on the Cacophony portal, and you can use that and log into the app, the Sidekick app. You may have already received an invitation to join the portal before you've seen this, in which case you've already got a username and password. So the first thing you do is plug the camera in and it'll start showing a blue light, which just means that it's booting up. It sort of flashes for a while, and what the camera does is it starts looking for a Wi-Fi network that it knows about. So if you've previously set up a Wi-Fi network and you're within range of one, it will find and connect to that. And if your camera is connected to the same Wi-Fi network, then your camera and your phone and the camera can talk to each other. So this is now showing a solid blue light, and soon it will start flashing green as it starts looking for a Wi-Fi network. There we are, flashing green. If it does find a Wi-Fi network, it will go solid green. Now, if it can't find a Wi-Fi network, it will then go yellow. And what the camera's actually done is it's set up its own Wi-Fi network, and you can connect to this network once it's a solid yellow. You can see it's still flashing yellow there.
Here's what I found.
Sorry, just wanted to butt into this video. I'll leave that in there. There we are. It's a solid yellow light. Now on your app, there's a connect button up the top. What this does is it connects to the network that the camera set up. You say, yes, I want to join, and your app will then connect to this network, and it will change colour once it's connected. There we are, it's connected, and then your camera should appear there. So you can now see the camera. This is A232, appears in the in your app, which is great. I'll just put the camera down so I can show you how to do this. So there's a few things you can do on here. So when you click on the camera, the first thing it will do is it will show you a preview of the camera once it's set up. Just while that's setting up, because it's booting, it can take a little while for that preview to show. There's sort of 5 tabs across here. One for controlling the camera, a general tab where you can update the software, set the power mode, change the group if you want to. A network tab where you can set up the network. Occasionally on iOS you'll get this warning here. If you get this, say, keep trying to use the Wi-Fi, the phone does that because the Wi-Fi network it's connected to doesn't actually have access to the internet, because the camera doesn't have access to the internet. On the network tab, you can see if your modem's working. Here we can see that there's a SIM card and it has an internet connection. You can see the strength of the SIM card. And you can also connect to a Wi-Fi network. Now this is kind of useful if you want to do software updates while your camera's here, or if your camera's been out in the field and it's got a whole lot of recordings on, it can use the Wi-Fi network to upload them. So here I will connect to one of our Wi-Fi networks. I'll put in the password. You only have to do this once for each camera. And you can hit the little I button here and see what the password is to make sure you've got it incorrectly, that you've typed it in correctly. And I'd actually made a mistake on here, which is good. But I'd check that. and then you can press the connect button once you're happy that you've got the right password. And what will happen is the camera will now try to connect to your Wi-Fi network, and you'll see that it's now flashing a green light. And once it's connected, it will go to a solid green light. And your phone will then reconnect to your local Wi-Fi network. It's going to be on the same network. I have seen people connect to guest networks on their camera and their phones on a non-guest network, and then they can't talk to each other, so they've got to be on the same network. And I can now see the camera there connected. So next time I turn that camera on, it will connect to this network and we can connect to it. So the other tab you see here is there's a location tab which shows you the current location. This is 00. Now what the app does is it grabs the location that the phone sees and compares it to the location that's stored in the camera. And if it's different, it will suggest to you that you update the location on the camera. So this is quite important if you have, because every video that you record is tagged with the location that's stored in the camera. So you do want to update that location. And it comes up with this message saying, it's noticed that the location stored on the camera is different than the location of the phone at the moment, and do you want to update it? And you go, yes I do, and it will then update that location. And you can see here it's now put in the longitude and latitude of that location, and if I want I can give it a name, so there's the opportunity to give the location a name. So I can I'll call it office, and I hit done, and it'll just save that name. Now another really useful thing you can do is you can take a photo from the perspective of the camera of the location. So this photo by default will be shown as an overlay over the thermal videos that you take, and it makes it a little bit easier to understand the thermal video because you can see what the camera is looking at. So to do that, you press the camera button and you take a picture. And generally you've got the camera tied to a tree, and you put your phone up against where the camera is, and I'll be doing it that way, sorry. So boom, and I'll have a nice photo. In this case, it's of an office, so it's not very interesting. But you use that photo, and then that'll be stored. So let's go back and have a look at the thermal camera video. So you can see here on the camera, it's looking at my thermal face. I'm looking hot for once in my life. So this is really good when you've set the camera up. You can stand in front of the camera, try and get comfortable that it's looking at the right sort of thing. You can sort of walk around and see what the range of the camera is. When you're setting up the camera on location, you want to try and angle the camera down a little bit so you can't see any sky, because the sky is really cold, and that provides a really big thermal contrast to anything else. So you get a lot of false positives if you have the sky. So it's best if you can avoid the sky. Don't have to, but it's best. Now on this page, you can also take a test recording. So that's quite good to stand in front of the camera, do a little dance, and press test recording. And that just takes a 2-second recording that will upload to the portal. You can review that and gives you confidence that the whole thing's working. You can also set the recording window on here. The default will turn on half an hour before sunrise. Half an hour before sunset, and go to half an hour after sunrise, so it's at night time. And it knows when sunrise and sunset is based on the time and the location. Or you can set it on 24 hours, or you can set a custom one as well. On the general tab, one of the options is to set the camera into high power mode or low power mode. Generally, you want to have the camera in low power mode because the battery will last longer. The only main difference is in high power mode, it uploads the videos straight away, whereas in low power it will do it once a day. But you'll get about 4 times the battery, or 4 times the length of recording on one battery if you have it in low power mode. It'll last for a month or 2. So that's the general tab. Network we've talked about, location we've talked about. The other tab here is the audio tab. So this is where you can control the audio mode. Here it's disabled. We can put it to audio only, audio and thermal, or audio and thermal. The main difference is between audio and thermal and audio or thermal is if you have an audio or thermal, it will only take audio recordings when it's not doing any video recordings, whereas audio and thermal will do both. And if it started an audio recording, it does 32 1-minute recordings at random times through the day. If it started an audio recording, it can't do a thermal, so you could miss an animal if it's on audio and thermal. So it sort of depends on what your situation is as to what you want to do. When you do select one of these audio modes, there's buttons to do a test recording of 10 seconds, or you can do a 5-minute recording if you'd like, and that'll be recorded and uploaded. The other thing to point out on this camera is you can see the battery percentage there, so that's quite useful to know. And if your camera is not connected to the internet, so if you don't have a SIM card in it and it's been doing recordings, you can see how many recordings are stored on the camera, and you can use this to download them from the camera to your phone. And then once you've downloaded them, you can go to the storage tab when you get back into Wi-Fi and upload those recordings. So that is most of the things you need to know to set up the Dock AI cam. There are always a few little subtleties, and we are changing the software from time to time, trying to improve it, make it easier to use. So do keep up with us via our newsletter or our blog or social media. Thank you very much.